Hey guys, how you doing? I hope you're doing okay. I'm going to start off by giving you an overview, hopefully quite a thorough overview of this article, as opposed to reading through every last word. I will scroll through just to make sure I give you all of the important and accurate information. There's a link in the description, and I will provide a trigger warning. This does involve child abuse, and there are some details within what I'm about to say. So a trigger warning is in place. And essentially, to give you an overview, this happened in Utah. Two parents have been arrested. A stepmother called Lori Carling, 36 years of age, she was arrested late last week. And the father of 6 children, Chad Anderson, 37 years of age, was arrested on Monday. They've both been charged with the same charges. They're accused of 2 counts of intentional or knowing child abuse with serious bodily injury. So as I say, they have 6 children. So I believe the father is the father of all 6. And the woman is the stepmother of all 6. And seemingly the child abuse was aimed at 2 children in particular, 2 of the 6, and also had been going on for approximately 2 years. Did I mention where this happened? This happened in Utah. And how this investigation came to light was the 2 boys that were the subjects of this abuse. They have an older brother, an 11-year-old. We don't know his name. We don't know the children's names, of course. But the 11-year-old brother took a video of the 2 boys, took a video of them suffering their abuse. He went to school, he showed a teacher, he showed a principal the video. And from there, an investigation took place. Thankfully, at this point, all 6 children have been removed. Did I mention, perhaps I didn't, that the reason for the delay in the arrest of the father was to allow the authorities time to source a premises or perhaps a family, I'm not quite sure, that could handle the additional 4 children. So the 2 children that were the subjects of the child abuse were immediately removed from the family home, and the stepmother was immediately arrested late last week. The authorities, the police, waited several days before arresting the father, just so that they could secure a premises for the 4 remaining children. Maybe that's a good strategy to have done. Maybe it's not. I'm not quite sure, but I suppose no harm, no foul. So I suppose it has worked in this case. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the abuse that the 2 boys in particular suffered. So the video that the 11-year-old boy showed the teachers and the principals showed that the 2 boys were tied, had their hands tied behind their backs, and they were wearing boxes over their heads. Their hands were tied behind their backs. They had boxes over their heads. The article tells us that they would often have 2 boxes on their heads. A small box, such that they couldn't see, could barely move their head, and also their breathing would be significantly hampered. And then a larger box over the top of them. Apparently, the parents, it was mostly instigated by the stepmother, but the father was also compliant, an enabler, you might say. But this has been going on for about 2 years, and it said within the article that the parents did this because they found these 2 children, 2 out of the 6, to be particularly unruly, whatever that means, disobedient. And their parenting skills are such that this is what they resorted to. The police have praised the 11-year-old brother for doing what he did, for taking a video and to showing that video to the teachers and the principal, which has enabled such swift and definitive action from the authorities. And one of the police lieutenants suggests that without that video footage, it would be likely that swift action would not have occurred. I mean, what do you do in this kind of situation? If you're a teacher, if you're a principal, and you have a child comes up to you and says, "Hey, my two brothers are being," well, I don't know what words an 11-year-old would use. They probably wouldn't be able to say child abuse. They probably perhaps wouldn't know the concept of child abuse, but they're being bullied. Mummy and daddy put a box on their heads. You know, is a teacher necessarily going to act on that? I would think not. I don't know. I would hope that they would, but I can imagine that having that visual confirmation of the bizarre yet heinous abuse of these two boys, you know, that's going to be enough motivation to kick any teacher up the arse to take action, I would think. So the boy, the 11-year-old, was very upset of the treatment of his two younger brothers. It upset him, it angered him, and he thought about releasing them, freeing them, untying them, and then running away with the two boys. So it's a dreadful situation for the entire family, all of the 6 children, to be exposed to this abuse. And it goes a long way to show the heart and bravery of this 11-year-old boy to feel the way he did, to see how disgusting the behavior was towards his two brothers, two children. He realized that they're two harmless children being abused. He realized that. It goes a long way to show his bravery to have done what he did. Take a video. Approach his teachers. But he did what he had to do. This is a very brave young man, a very kind-hearted young man. So I praise the 11-year-old brother, and I praise the teachers and the principals and the authorities for taking the action that they did. And of course, full condolences to all of the children, all 6 children, but notably the 2 boys. They are 8 years of age and 5 years of age, and they would be placed in a timeout for an entire day. They would be, mistreated for in days at a time. They would wear the boxes 2 hours at a time. Then they would have a break, and then they would be told to put the boxes back on. Unfortunately, the boxes and the tying wasn't the only abuse leveled at these 2 young boys, 8 years of age and 5 years of age. Officers reported finding burn marks on the boy's chin, which were believed to have been caused by friction from the cardboard repeatedly rubbing against their skin. The boxes appeared way too small for the 2 victims to be able to get any airway inside. Okay, this section here that I'm going to read through is utter craziness, just vile. A marble maze toy that rattles is placed on the top of both boxes, one for each brother, and if they move at all, they have to tie one leg to their hands, leaving them with one leg to stand on. They'd have to stand on one leg for 30 minutes or more if they move or talk. I mean, just absolute fucking sick scumbags. There was a strong smell of urine from inside the boy's bedroom. One of the children had been abused by being forced to stand out in the cold for 10 minutes before he was found curled up on the ground wearing a short sleeve pants and just socks. That's pretty much the full details of the article. So the article does assure us that the 2 boys were taken into protective custody last week at the point that the stepmother scumbag was arrested. The other 4 remained with the father for several days, but were and have been placed with other relatives. So all of the children are now safe. So there's the blessing. and these two scumbags have been arrested, and they're charged with child abuse charges, 2 counts of intentional or knowing child abuse with serious bodily injury. There is no description of the serious bodily injury other than the burns caused by the cardboard boxes rubbing against their chins. So thankfully, I hope, I pray, and it seems that all of these children will get through this. They will get through this, and they have the love and support of their relatives at this point. The 2 abused boys, perhaps not with their relatives. They're in the care of protective custody. Maybe that's a temporary measure up until a certain stage. I really don't know. But I hope and pray that all of these children do get all of the love and support that they need. I'm not aware of a GoFundMe. If you guys are aware of a GoFundMe, please let me know, and I'll happily put that in the description. I'm not sure if one will be deemed appropriate at this point in time, but I think it would be good for the relatives to have some financial buffer to be able to offer the children the support that they need. But I'm going to wrap things up here, guys. If you do value this type of coverage, this type of content going over these topics, if you think I've done a decent enough job of doing so, then please do show me some support. And by the way, I love your comments. I love the fact that there's an opportunity to express your feelings on this kind of subject. Whatever it happens to be. I like calling these guys scumbags, these fucking sick assholes that do this kind of thing to children. It's fucking evil. I like being able to express that. I probably need to, when you read through these details, when you read through these articles, and I just read through the worst possible one an hour ago, it bothers you. Fucking angers you. So it's good that you guys express your anger in the comments. Please do. I'm gonna wrap things up, guys. Thanks for listening. Take care of yourselves, and if you have any other children that are a part of your family, your extended family, if you feel that they're not getting proper treatment, then please do look into contacting the authorities. Thank you.